All right. Welcome to the grand final of the FLQL India track. We have four participants in the grand final. Um, for seat one, we have Ashwath. On seat two, Samanth. Seat three, Jaikantan, and seat four, Saransh. Apart from Saransh, all three players have made it to the finals before as well. We'll hear from Saransh since it's his first grand final. Saransh, do you have any thoughts or anything?
Yeah, just glad to be here. I mean, I'm not sure how I ended up here in this match here, but it's good to be part of this game.
Okay, all right. With that note, we will start. All the best, all of you. And first question. So I'll just open up the answer here as well. Uh, yep, we'll start. Ashwath, your set of two. Here we go. Best of luck.
Cool.
Okay. Oasis reunion announcement was accompanied by an anniversary reissue of their debut album, Definitely Maybe, which was originally released in what year? Other albums first released that year include TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool and Nirvana's MTV Unplugged in New York, which came out in November, 7 months after the death of Kurt Cobain.
1994.
You're off. That's your first points on the board. 1994 is correct. Your second question. In number theory, after which Indian mathematician is the number 6174 named, who discovered an interesting property of the number that 6174 is reached in the end as one repeatedly subtracts the highest and lowest number that can be constructed from a set of any four digits that are not all identical.
Kaprekar.
Can you say that again?
Kaprekar.
Yes, Kaprekar is correct. It's the Kaprekar constant named after Dattatreya Kaprekar. Samanth, your turn. Set of two questions. Sure. An account of the New Testament from the perspective of Jesus Christ himself, the Gospel according to the Son, is the penultimate novel by which American author who won the 1980 Pulitzer for fiction for The Executioner's Song.
Norman Mailer.
Norman Mailer is correct. Your second question. Nobel Prize Museum in Stockholm displays several artifacts donated by the laureates themselves on their behalf. This Cornell University insignia bearing mug has been donated by which 2017 laureate, as these mugs were at the center of his experiments on endowment effect, which found that the people are more willing to retain an object they own than acquire the same object if they do not own it. In his experiment, students who were gifted these marks quoted a higher price than the other students were willing to pay.
Richard Thaler.
Thaler is correct. Yes, you had to name the economics Nobel winner in 2017. Thaler is correct. JK, your set of two. At the height of his popularity, parents took their infants to Tagore so that he could give them the right name, and he himself also was of the opinion that new unusual names should be coined instead of boring old names. Which Bollywood actor was given his name by Tagore because his mother was appearing for an exam in Shantiniketan while she was expecting him? The name, while punning on the word for exam, is also a character from Mahabharat, like the name of his Bollywood actor father Yudhishthir, better known via a screen name, and Hindi author uncle Bhisham. His career has seen a revival by playing character role in Rajkumar Hirani films.
Parikshit Sahni.
Parikshit Sahni is correct. So his father being Balraj Sahni. And your second direct. What is the most common style of draping a sari called, where the sari is wrapped around the waist while the loose end of the drape is worn over the left shoulder? While folk etymologies on the internet describe it as a derivative of words meaning new, Sanskrit dictionaries describe the word as a cloth worn around a woman's waist, or more properly, the ends of the cloth tied into a knot in front, suggesting a use of an existing word. Need answer?
Pass.
Okay, passing to Saransh.
Nawari.
Not the right answer. Ashwath.
Pass.
Samanth.
Navy.
Yeah, Navy is correct. Well done. This is what I was looking for. Navy. Okay, just a moment. Okay, Saransh, your set of two. Sweet and Sour. This anthology of short stories by the Burmese author Tien Pe Mint were translated into English by an alumna of Delhi School of Social Work who was born in Tin Tint in Yamethin, Burma. How do we know her better?
Aung San Suu Kyi.
Not correct. Ashwath.
Pass.
Pass to JK.
Mrs. K.R. Narayan.
Yeah, that surname is acceptable. Yes. Surname is acceptable. Usha Narayanan, so the wife of former President K.R. Narayanan. And Saransh, your second direct. Vividvani, coming on the heels of Pakwan Pothi and Pakwan Sagar written by men, was the first cookbook to be written by a woman in its language and contained over 2,000 interesting recipes like cakes and tarts, apart from the recipes from the author's community. The author, belonging to a shipbuilding family, perished in the bubonic plague of 1896, and her mother brought out the subsequent edition. Which community's recipes does Vividvani compile?
Parsis.
You are on the board. Well done. These are the Parsis. Ashwath, round two. There we go. This stone fragment was donated to the Nobel Museum by a minister from a southeastern European country and was part of the titular structure of a novel by a Nobel winning author from that country. The structure serves as the backdrop of the historical novel spanning several centuries. What is this novel?
Bridge on the Drina.
By Ivo Andrich is correct. Bridge on the Drina. And this refers to the Mehmet Pasha Bridge. Ashwath, your next question. This kind of cross that rests on a stepped platform usually has 3 steps up to the cross. They represent faith, hope, and charity. What are these crosses called, named after the mountain upon which Jesus Christ was crucified? These are commonly found in altars and cemeteries. Cemeteries, rather.
Calvary.
Calvary is correct. We are also accepting Golgotha as well. Samanth, your set of 2. Which squash player had a winning streak of 555 matches between 1981 and 1986? The longest winning streak by any professional athlete. In his career, he won the World Championship 6 times, the British Open a record 10 times, and he was ranked world number one for 6 years. Full name needed.
Oh, full name. Jahangir Khan.
Jahangir Khan is correct. Yeah, this is Jahangir Khan. Samanth, you're next, correct? Rum was responsible for keeping the world's most powerful navy happy and healthy for 300 years. Ever since the British Navy acquired Jamaica in 1655, sailors received a pint of rum as their daily ration. Sailors made sure the rum wasn't diluted by adding gunpowder and setting it on fire. This practice was the origin of which term?
Is it no what how much you want? Proof in liquor?
Proof is correct. Proof is what I say. Well done. Proof or proofing, so measure of alcohol content is known as proof. JK, your turn. Although this university city is today more commonly associated with tortellini, tagliatelle, and cold cut, it was a major center of painting in the 16th and 17th centuries. Which city's namesake school of painting featured Guido Reni, Guercino, and perhaps most notably the Carracci family?
This is Bologna.
Bologna is correct. Quickly put away your next question. What name from the Sanskrit for joy giver did Kaprekar give to a set of integers that are divisible by the sum of its digits when written in a given number base? Also known as Niven numbers, the example of these numbers discovered by Kaprekar would include the Hardy Ramanujam number 1729 in base 10, since it is divisible by 19, the sum of its digits, but including 1992 may amount to a scam.
This is Harshad.
Yeah, just Harshad numbers. That's correct. And Saransh, in an effort to get out of the shadow of England, country X sought out country Y at the end of the 13th century to build the Blank Alliance. It became one of the most important and strategic alliances in X's history, and wine made it happen. Wine was the heaviest negotiation factor for X, as it provided aid to Y's military. Y in turn provided some of its best wines from a particular wine growing region to X. Both nations worked together for many years to suppress English expansion and make England jealous of X's wine cellar. So give me either of X or Y or name the alliance.
The Bordeaux Alliance.
Not correct. Ashwath?
Scotland and France?
Yeah, just one was acceptable. You could have just said so.
No.
Scotland
Oh,
or
sorry, I thought you wanted both. Okay.
sorry, my bad. Scotland and France. Yeah, that is correct.
Hmm.
Scotland and France. Yes, or the Old Alliance.
All
Okay. Old Alliance. Saransh, your next direct. Here we go. This cross was found mostly in European countries during the medieval era. This cross was placed on doors and walls of certain houses with the words, "Lord have mercy upon us." Laws at the time required this cross to be either painted in red or black. What cross is this? Answer?
No, I'll pass.
Ashwath?
Plague crosses?
Yes, correct. Plague crosses.
Okay, nice.
Well done. New round. Ashwath, here we go. What bugbear of famous Swedes over the years was the reason for the garish or outlandish stage costumes of ABBA? glittering hot pants, sequined jumpsuits, and platform heels that cannot be worn on the streets or as daily wear clothes.
Taxes.
Taxes, I'll prompt you.
Um, like I think the description is like if they wore regular stuff, they'd be taxed. But if they wore these kind of stuff which could not be used regularly, then they wouldn't be taxed.
Okay, I'll accept this. It's I'm looking for income tax here, but yeah. Okay. You get points there. Ashwath, your next direct. Which US hurdler had a winning streak of 122 consecutive races in 400-meter hurdles between 1977 and 1987, including Olympic golds in 1978 and 1984? His winning streak ran for a total of 9 years, 9 months, and 9 days in a striking example of symmetry.
Moses.
Edwin Moses is correct. Well done. And Samanth, your turn. Probably the most widely acclaimed breakthrough in gynecology and obstetrics in 2023 was the discovery by Marlena Fezjo of the association of the protein GDF15 with which common condition in pregnant women whose exact cause was yet to be identified. So we'll accept the scientific term for an extreme variant of the condition or its common name.
Is this morning sickness like nausea, vomiting?
Morning sickness will fetch you the points. Yes, correct. Next question. Victor Gruen wanted to recreate the experience of streets with cafes and restaurants, just as he remembered from his native Vienna. What kind of structure did he pioneer in the US and then the rest of the world, originally conceived to be what sociologist Ray Oldenburg calls third places, meant to escape the harsh Minnesota winters?
Shopping malls.
Yeah, shopping malls. That's correct. JK, your set of two. The exhibit at the Nobel Prize Museum for which scientist, who was the first woman to win the Unshared Physiology Prize, features these corn cobs donated by Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory, New York, where she conducted her research on transposons or jumping genes. The transposons effect on corn, which causes husk hair or grain to change color, made the corn cobs the true stars of her research.
Hodgkins.
Hodgkins, not correct. Saransh,
Pass.
we go to Samanth.
Barbara McClintock.
That is correct. This is Barbara McClintock of the Jumping Jeans fame. And JK, your next direct. In Kill Bill Volume 2, you see something here that shouldn't be here in Texas. In this scene that's supposed to be El Paso, Texas, you can see them all over the background, albeit erroneously. Unsurprisingly, El Paso, Texas scenes were shot in California, which explains the goof up. The entities in question are also native to Arizona, Utah, and Nevada. What do we erroneously see here, which in a singular form names a 1987 album?
Joshua Tree.
Yes, Joshua Tree, which is reference to U2's fifth studio album. Saransh, your set of two. This style of draping a sari omits pleats at the waist and instead has an ornate frill known as odukua at the side of the waist. Which airlines do these air hostesses belong to, adorned in this drape called osari or kandian?
Air Sri Lanka.
Yes, that's Sri Lankan Airlines, but not good enough. Sri Lankan Airlines. Saransh, your next direct. At the height of his popularity, which swayed divided his time between tax haven Monte Carlo and a small island off the Swedish coast, ostensibly to escape the Swedish tax laws, and has had a long struggle against the tax authorities in his native Sweden, lasting 2 decades, settled only in the 21st century. Ten. Answer, please.
No, pass.
No guesses. JK?
Is Bergman?
Not Bergman. Ashwath?
Max Martin.
Not the right answer. And Samanth?
Pass.
Pass the first X of the quiz. So this is the tennis player, Borg.
Shit.
Borg. All right, the first X there. And Ashwath, we come to you for round 4. Subtitled Christianity's Creation of Sex War in the West, The Gospel According to Woman is a 1986 book by which leading Christian mystic and scholar of comparative religion, best known for her 2009 Charter for Compassion. A number of her books like A History of God, The Battle for God, and The Case for God have been widely read outside academic circles. Ten.
Doninger.
Not correct. Saransh?
Pass.
Samanth?
Karen Armstrong.
That is correct. This is Karen Armstrong. Good answer there. Ashwath, your next direct. Konika Banerjee was an important Rabindra Sangeet, was an exponent of Rabindra Sangeet who was born Anima and grew under Tagore's tutelage and renamed Kanika by Tagore for one of his volumes of poetry. She is also known by which other nickname also believed to be given by Tagore? If it helps, on her centenary in 2023, Kolkata-based jeweler Shyam Sundar Company released a gold coin in her honor.
Varna.
Not correct. Saransh?
Pass.
JK?
Pass.
And Samanth.
Pass.
The second X, the quiz. Her nickname is Mohor,
Oh.
which means gold
Oh.
there. Yeah, this is Mohor. Okay, Samanth, set of 2. Sheila or Shields, as she is called lovingly in painter architect Satish's autobiography. The author of these books of poetry and prose was a prolific writer in Hindi and English. Her memoirs from the time she spent as the wife of the Indian ambassador in Moscow, My Years in USSR, was also her last book. Who was her husband?
I.K. Gujral.
I.K. Gujral is correct. Satish Gujral is the painter and painter. This is I.K. Gujral. And your next question. Kaprekar also studied the Demlo numbers of the form 1, 1 to 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, composed of repeated instances of the same digit in a positional number system. They are named after Demlo railway station where Kaprekar started investigating them. Demlo was the anglicized name of which present-day railway station located 30 miles from Bombay on the then GIP railway near Kalyan. Answer?
Pass.
Saransh.
Pass.
JK.
Pass.
Ashwath?
Dombivli.
Dombivli is
Oh,
correct.
super.
Nice.
Nice answer.
Nice answer there. This is Dombivli. JK, we come to you. Who was arrested and charged with income tax evasion in 1976 while rehearsing August Strindberg's The Dance of Death at the Royal Dramatic Theatre in Stockholm, a chain of events which sent him into a nervous breakdown as a result of the humiliation and resulted in him operating from Munich until 1984 and visiting Sweden only occasionally. Answer, please.
Max von Sydow.
Not Max von Sydow. Saransh?
Pass.
Samanth.
Is this Bergman?
Yes, this is Bergman. Ingmar Bergman. This is Ingmar Bergman. And JK, your next direct. Set in Martinique and originally written in French, The Gospel According to the New World is the final published novel of which author who passed away earlier this year. The book was shortlisted for the International Booker Prize in 2023, making the then 89-year-old author the oldest ever to make the shortlist. Almost time.
This is Gurza.
Not correct. Saransh,
Pass.
Ashwath,
Pass.
and Samanth.
Pass.
Okay, I thought Samanth might had it. This is Marise Konde. That's the name. Marise Konde. Saransh, your set of two. The upcoming British film Joy covers the life and work of Patrick Steptoe, Robert Edwards, and Jean Purdy, who in 1978 achieved what breakthrough in the field of obstetrics? Need an answer? Almost time.
C-section.
C-section. JK?
This is the first test tube baby.
Test tube baby is correct. First test tube baby or an IVF. All right. So the first test tube baby being Louis Brown. Okay, Saransh, your next direct. During the lean years of the late 1930s, people had no money and wouldn't go into shops. To combat this, Victor Gruen developed a signature style in his shop designs, starting with boutique stores on NY's Fifth Avenue in 1938, which has since been adopted as the global norm. What was this innovation meant to lure in customers?
Like window displays.
That is correct. Window displays. Done. Yeah, so this appealing window displays. And halfway through, Samanth on 11, Ashwath on 9, JK 6, and Saransh on 3 points. Ashwath, your turn. The painter born Pietro Vannucci, a leading figure of the High Renaissance and a teacher of Raphael, is best known by a nickname that derives from his hometown, the capital of Umbria. Perhaps his most famous work is the Delivery of Keys fresco in the Sistine Chapel in Rome. What is his nickname or the city from which it derives?
Genoa.
Not correct. Saransh?
Parmigiano.
Not correct either. JK?
Pass.
Passing to Samanth.
Perugino from Perugia.
Yes, that is correct. Perugino, whose famous work is the Delivery of Keys. Ashwath, your second direct. First published in 1951, which Tamil cookbook by Meenakshi Ammal with a title, sorry for the typo, meaning Cook and See, was meant to be a guide to young brides who were setting up home on their own and is now considered a veritable classic.
சமைத்து பாருங்கள்.
That is correct. Well done.
பாருங்கள்னா இல்ல, சமைத்து பார், அவ்வளவுதான். It's an instruction. No respect there.
All right. Samanth, your set of two. Here we go. 1994 saw the release of Cut Your Hair, the only hit single ever achieved by which iconic indie band, fronted by Stephen Malkmus and described by All Music Guide as the best band of the 1990s. Although the band is Californian, their name is a word much more common in British English, the American equivalent of which features in the title of this Shel Silverstein poem, Where the Blank Ends.
Oh. Pavement?
Correct. So
Oh.
that's the where the sidewalk ends. So the equivalent is pavement. Your next direct. In many movies like Enemy of the State, Live Free to Die Hard, True Lies, etc., filmmakers keep showing something which is visible here, which is a sign of a common topographical error. If only filmmakers knew about this century-old prohibition dating to 1910, they wouldn't have made this mistake. What mistake do you see here? We see a screenshot from Live Hard or Die Hard. Live Free to Die Hard.
Basically, planes and helicopters are not allowed to fly below building level, like below the tops of buildings, which is what is happening here.
Not the right answer here. Saransh?
Pass.
Passing to JK.
I'll pass.
And Ashwath.
There are no skyscrapers in Washington.
That is correct. There are no skyscrapers in Washington, D.C.
Nice.
due to a federal law in 1910. And all these films are set in Washington, D.C. and they show skyscrapers there. Good answer. And JK, your set of two. Who has written the lyrics for this 1964 bhajan sung by Lata Mangeshkar with music by Chitragupt? Like Chitragupt, the lyricist husband was also born with the surname Srivastava, but replaced it with a caste-neutral title indicating an academic qualification. The entire oeuvre of this lyricist is limited to 4 songs, including the one you will hear being played.
भोला भोला रटते रटते हो गए नी बावरिया भोला भोला रटते रटते
Almost time. Did you answer?
Three.
I'm sorry?
Shastri.
Shastri will get you the points. This is Lalita Shastri, wife of Lal Bahadur Shastri. JK, your second direct. Rasha Chandrika, the culinary classic first, published in 1945 in Marathi and written by Ambabai Samsi, the sister of D.N. Sirur of Minerva Mill, is a compendium of recipes from which very small Konkani-speaking community and is suggestive of the rich migratory heritage of the community, which derives its name from a mythical river believed to be located very far from the community's current homeland. Okay, need an answer?
Saras from Saraswati.
Saras is not correct. Saransh?
Pass.
Passing to Ashwath.
Gaud Saraswat Brahmins.
Can you say that again?
Gaud Saraswat Brahmins.
Saraswat is what I was looking for. So the Saraswats. And Saransh, your set of two. A leading figure of the 17th century Genoese school of painting was the Baroque artist Bernardo Strozzi, who was known by what nickname? A reference to his time as a friar in the San Bernaba monastery. Courtesy the color of the habits worn by friars of that order, the same nickname was later given to an espresso based beverage that in Italy is generally not drunk after 11 a.m.
Cappuccino?
Yes, il cappuccino or cappuccino is fine.
Oh.
Next question. Born to Chinese scholar Tan Yun Shan, who headed the Center of Chinese Studies at Shantiniketan, 1940, born Ramchandran, who trained under Ram Kinkar Bej, is a contemporary artist known for her paintings of nature and flora. Aptly, Tagore picked a three-syllable name for her, which he felt had a distinct Chinese resonance, especially the last syllable, despite being an Indian word. What name? Also the name of a white, fragrant flower abundant in the region. Need an answer?
I'll pass.
Jackie.
I'll pass.
Samanth?
Uh,
Okay. Ashwath?
Pass.
Pass. Another X in that seat. This is Chameli Ramchandran. Right. Chameli Ramchandran. Yeah.
Chinese.
All right. Next round. Ashwath, we start with you. Here we go. The daughter of economist Frank Taussig, Helen Taussig, is best known for designing the Blalock Thomas Taussig shunt, along with her colleagues at the Johns Hopkins Hospital. A procedure that would extend the lives of children born with what condition that, unlike what its name might suggest, had nothing to do with royalty. You can give me the technical or the common name.
Blue blood.
Not correct. Saransh.
Pass.
We go to JK
Pass.
and Samanth.
blue blood is not correct.
It's not.
Blue baby.
Blue baby is the right answer.
Oh.
Blue baby syndrome or cyanosis, the scientific term.
Blue baby.
Blue baby syndrome. And Ashwath, next direct. Poison laced wine was the weapon of choice of this family for dispatching enemies and subordinates alike, thus maintaining their power during the Renaissance. Their methods were anything but moral, and they were obsessed with holding the papal seat. Identify this family that is renowned as one of the most power hungry families in history. In a strange twist of fate, their patriarch, played by Jeremy Irons in the 2011 TV series, died by their own poisoned bottle of wine.
Borgias.
That is correct. Borgias it is. And Samanth. This style of draping a 9-yard sari gets its name from two different words. First one refers to the long pallu tucked at the back, and the second refers to the pleated portion that goes in between the legs. It has two variants, Iyer and Iyengar. What is the name for this drape, traditionally used by Tamil Brahmin women?
Madisari.
Madisar is correct. Yes, well done. Next question. This cross, also described as a sunburst, has two extra diagonal lines than the Christian cross that bisect the center of the traditional vertical and horizontal line, adding 4 extra points to the cross. The 8 points then represent the 8 dynamics of life that they believe each person must deal with. What cross is this that was inspired by a cross that this Nebraska-born founder saw at an old Spanish mission in Arizona?
Mormon cross.
Mormon cross is incorrect. Saransh
Pass.
and JK.
Pass.
Ashwath.
Pass.
Pass. All right. So the Nebraska-born founder is L. Ron Hubbard. This is the
Scientology.
Scientology cross. Okay. JK, your set of two. Which Mexican boxer had a winning streak of 87 victories between 1980 and 1993 across three weight categories before he drew with Pernell Whitaker in 1993 and an unbeaten streak of 90 bouts lasting a year more till his defeat to Frankie Randall? His full name includes the name of an American labor leader and civil rights activist.
Cesar Chavez?
Cesar Chavez is correct. Yes. Cesar Chavez. Just Chavez is also good enough. Next question. Which American obstetric anesthesiologist developed an eponymous score in 1952 for quick assessment of the health of a child immediately after birth? Her work is generally acknowledged to be a breakthrough in the fight against infant mortality. Okay, almost time.
This is Apgar.
APGAR is correct. Virginia APGAR. It's a backronym of appearance, pulse, grimace, activity, and respiration. Okay, Saransh, your set of two in this round. 1994 saw the first installment of which singer's American recordings series of albums produced by Rick Rubin and acclaimed for their stripped down style. Later albums in the American recording series featured covers of Depeche Mode's Personal Jesus, Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down, and most famously Nine Inch Nails' Hurt.
Johnny Cash.
That's correct. Yes, Johnny Cash is Hurt. And so last direct in this round. When fans watched this 1995 film, they were shocked to see that there are numerous massive cliffs shown in it. Coastal Virginia doesn't have big cliffs. One person even joked that since the movie was set close to 400 years ago, Panagia must have moved Scotland to the Virginia coast. Which film is this? Ten.
Pass.
Passing to JK.
Pass.
Ashwath.
Pass.
Samanth.
Pocahontas.
That is correct. This is Pocahontas, 1985 musical, Pocahontas. Penultimate round, Ashwath. Who is credited as the author of this 1992 book with one section on the author's recollections of Rajiv Gandhi and another section devoted to the photographs taken by him selected by the author? Full name needed.
Sonia Gandhi.
It is Sonia Gandhi, correct.
Mhm.
This is Sonia Gandhi. Next direct. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they show this European city as a small alpine village and label it as blank. In reality, it is a city of around 600,000 population that reaches around 40 Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius. Which city is this? The birthplace of Anne of Cleves with an old tradition of cartwheeling. And 10.
Um, Innsbruck?
Innsbruck is not correct. Saransh.
Pass.
JK.
Pass.
And Samanth.
Pass.
Pass. So I think this is not Innsbruck, this is Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf. Samanth, your set of two. This multi-volume cookbook published by Biprodash Mukhopadhyay between 1883 to 1906, written in vernacular Bengali, was a continuation of the author's previous two cookbooks and a namesake monthly magazine and combined Mughlai and English recipes. What is its name translating to cooking system or cooking method? But a search for it on Bengali Wikipedia will land on the page of a water body between India and Sri Lanka with a phonetically similar name in Bengali.
Mm, Park.
I mean, give me something more.
Damn it. Park Street.
No, not correct. Saransh.
Pass.
Okay. JK
Pass.
and Ashwath.
Pass.
Okay. So the answer is Park Pranali, which would translate to Park Strait in Bengali there. So Park Pranali.
Wait, what?
Samanth.
How does this work? Pranali means straight.
Yeah, apparently yes. Pranali. Okay.
I see.
Samanth, your next direct. Which future Nobel laureate in economics did Tagore name in 1933, immediately after his birth, with then unusual name meaning immortal?
Amartya Sen.
Two consecutive Bengali questions for you. Amartya Sen.
Good.
Okay. JK, your set of two. John Parker was appointed the job of protection. Despite that, Parker had accepted an invitation from the protectee's coachman and footman to go for a drink at the Star Saloon next door. Had Parker declined that invitation, he could have remained a protector on duty and changed history as we know it. How could he have changed history?
Prevented the assassination of Lincoln.
That is correct. He could have saved Lincoln there. Done. And your next direct. This cross has three horizontal cross pieces laid on a vertical bar. They resemble the three crowns on the blank tiara. Some argue that the horizontal bar represent the Holy Trinity. In reality, the three bars simply indicate someone of higher rank than an archbishop whose crosses have two horizontal bars. So what are these crosses called? Your answer?
Is the cardinal.
Cardinal, not correct. Saransh?
People crosses.
People cross is correct. Yes. It's the people cross. And Saransh, your set of two. This Nobel Museum exhibit of the humble Scotch tape has been donated by Andre Geim, as it was at the center of their discovery of which new material. Geim used Scotch tape to peel a pencil and dissected it further to discover this material, just 1 atom thick but stronger than diamond.
Graphene.
Graphene is correct. Yes. Well done. And your last direct in this round. In 1963, Kaprekar defined the property which has come to be known as self numbers as the integers that cannot be generated by taking some other number and adding its own digits to it. Though more widely known as self number, Kaprekar's preferred designation for these numbers is named for which hill station town near Nasik he was then residing in. The town also lends its name to a British era slang for mad and eccentric.
Lonavala.
Lonavala is incorrect. JK?
Diolali.
Yes, Diolali is correct, from which emerges the term Doolali. And the last round there, Samanth leading with 17, Ashwath 14, and JK 11, and Saransh on 7. Ashwath, your turn. This style of draping a sari involves tucking the pleat at the back of the waist instead of the front, and its origin myth is that when Kaveri tried to emerge from her husband Agastya's Kamandal as a river, she flew over local women, pleading her to stop with such force that the pleats of their saris were swept from front to back. Which region does this drape belong to? Also, the region where the source of Kaveri lies.
Kodagu or Coorg?
Yes, correct. Kodagu. Done. And next, your last direct. When Victor Gruen began proposing his indoor malls to civic and business leaders, he packaged it as a civil defense measure, a perfect cornerstone of the life belts around major cities. His full vision for the mall was thus more than just shops. He imagined them as mixed use facilities with apartment, offices, medical center, childcare facilities, libraries, and since it was the 1950s, as what kind of protective structures?
Nuclear shelters or nuclear fallout shelters.
Yeah, that's acceptable. Is fallout shelter nucleus. Bomb shelters, but yeah, bunker, fallout shelter, and all. All right, Samant, your last two. Here we go. Which Swede wrote a satirical fairy tale, Pomperipossa in Monismania, also called Pomperipossa in the World of Money, that was published in one of the largest newspapers in Sweden. The origin of the story was that she had found out that she was paying 102% in taxes on her income from the previous year. The story created a major debate about the Swedish tax system and led to the defeat of the incumbent party in the subsequent elections.
Astrid Lindgren.
Of Pippi Longstocking fame is correct. And your last direct, here we go. Madonna with the Long Neck is one of the best known works by Francesco Mazzola, an artist better known by a nickname that means the little one from which city? This city also gives its name to a world famous cheese that is only produced in the city's namesake province as well as the neighboring Reggio Emilia.
This is Parmigianino.
Yes, this is Parmigianino or Parma, just Parma is also good enough. And JK, your last two, here we go. In October 1994, Madonna released which album? Her sixth. With singles including Secret and Human Nature, it was intended as a departure from her then highly sexualized image as reflected in its title, which refers to things that parents commonly buy for or to tell young children. Need an answer?
Storybooks.
It's not correct. Saransh?
Pass.
Ashwath?
Nursery rhymes.
Samanth?
Pass.
Pass. Nursery rhymes, storybooks, close there. This is Bedtime Stories. That's the name of the album.
Okay, yeah.
JK, your last direct. Here we go. In shopping mall and store design, how would you describe the Gruen transfer, also known as the Gruen effect? It typically involves consumers entering a dissociative figure-like state, and ironically, Victor Gruen disapproved of such manipulative techniques.
So this is basically confusing the customer with a bunch of options. Like you go and you get confused as to where you're looking for stuff, and you sort of forget what you came in for. You think of something else and sort of get to the state where you're open to suggestion to buy new things.
All right. So how does this happen? I'll prompt you. How does this suggestion and all happen?
So they
That's
need
acceptable, Shankha. That's fine.
Fine. All right. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So the shopping mall's layout causes that.
Layout,
So
yeah.
layout causes that. Yeah. So good answer there. We'll give you points. And Saransh, the last two directs of the quiz. I think Samanth has
That's
sealed it
fun.
there. Here we go. Saransh, which Greco-Roman wrestler who won golds at the 1988, 1992, and the 1996 Olympic Games under a different flag each time had an unbeaten streak of 887 wins and had not lost a point till his defeat at the hand of American Rulon Gardner at the 2000 Olympics final?
Pass.
Okay, we pass to JK.
I'll pass.
Ashwath.
Carolyn.
Carolyn is correct. Alexander Carolyn. And the last direct, here we go. A fictional retelling of the life of Jesus Christ that portrayed him as a less than ideal character. The Gospel According to Jesus Christ was a 1991 work by which Nobel laureate? The book would prove to be a turning point in his career, as his government's censorship of the book under PM Anibal Cavaco Silva eventually caused him to leave his homeland and settle down in the Spanish island of Lanzarote for the rest of his life.
Pass.
JK.
This is Kazantzakis.
Kazantzakis is not correct. Samanth?
Saramago.
Yes, the Portuguese Nobel laureate, Saramago. And that ends the
Yes.
game, people. 17, 20, 12, and 7. Samanth wins the
Well
season
done.
7 grand final. Congratulations.
Great. Congratulations.
That's the one. Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you.
thanks. Thanks for reading,
Thanks for reading,
Shankha.
Shankha.
Thank you.
That's our
Yep.
job.
Thanks for reading, Shankha.
Thank you.
Always.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.